It's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone's having a good day. This episode's going to be about a few things, but largely I'm going to be touching on a huge Black Friday deal that Meta's offering from November 29th, so tomorrow, into December 31st. I got to kick off the episode like this. Typically, when I leave a link, when I talk about a game and it's available to buy, if you use my link, you guys get 10% off. But in this time frame, you guys get 20% off. Additionally, if you guys buy a MetaQuest 3 or a 3S, whether you use their 24-month no interest purchase or if you just buy it outright, if you use my link, usually you would get $30 Quest cash, but in that time frame, you guys get $60 Quest cash. And by doing so, you're always supporting my channel. I'm glad you guys are here. We're going to be talking about new games, a sim rig I've installed, 2 separate HOTAS controllers, a wheel, pedals, what games they work well with, and I've got a copy of Into the Radius 2 for Steam VR that I'm giving away. You guys are watching Bringhurst VR. All right, so as mentioned at the top of this episode, largely I want to talk about this sale from Meta from November 29th into December 31st. It's a month-long sale. And as I mentioned, if you're going for the Quest 3S or the Quest 3, you get that $60 cash, which it's already coming with like Batman Arkham Shadow, and then the $60. I could see that being a value to a lot of people. On top of that, the 20% off with games using my link. I'm going to list a bunch of games down below from Batman and Into the Radius and Metro and maybe the top 10 games that I love, that even going back quite a while. Like, you're going to find Lies Beneath and BeatSaber and a few classics from a couple of years ago, but I'm going to list those games. And if you want a game that you don't see listed down there, tell me in the comments. I'll provide a link. Use that link and you'll get that 20% off. No reason not to do it. Now, with that out of the way, I want to talk about this sim rig I've got. Initially, it was meant to be a racing sim. It's not a motion rig. Someday, that day is not now. On it, as you'll see in this footage, I've got a wheel in the center, I got pedals down below, and then I have a throttle and thrust on the left. Now, this was initially built with the Thrustmaster HOTAS X, and it works fine. I think a lot of people, when they first dive into this, they're going to be buying this unit. It's so inexpensive. Whether you're doing the joystick or the wheel, or both in my case, I mean, both can be had for, on their own, below $70 on eBay. And so I think it's the introductory thing that most people are going to go with. I, however, have since upgraded to the Thrustmaster T16000m, which is considerably more useful. And so while the first one is more affordable, this is going to be only slightly more expensive, and it offers a lot more. Let's start with the wheel. This wheel has force feedback, and I've tried it with Project Cars 1 and 2. I've tried it with Dirt Rally 2, which is one of my favorite racing games. I've tried it with Automobilista, and recently EXOCars has released their game for MetaQuest, linked down below, and Steam VR. But the nature of these devices, the wheel and the flight stick, that's only ever going to be PCVR. So right now, right there, this is not going to be for everyone. But if it is for you, if you have PCVR, I expect you've thought about something like this, and I hope that you find the rest of this kind of useful. Now let's talk about EXOCars. I'll say this up front. The way that they have you steering in standalone Meta is pretty cool. You have to take your controllers and grab the steering wheel, and then you physically turn. It's intuitive, it feels good, the vibration in the controllers complements the wheel quite a bit, but your arms do get tired after a bit doing that. Additionally, the multiplayer, you guys let me know in the comments. From what I can tell, multiplayer only means kind of racing ghosts and beating other people's times. It looks like there might be some kind of live, real multiplayer gameplay, but I haven't touched it yet. So if that exists, let me know, because for a lot of people, that's going to make or break the experience. But I'm mostly going to be talking about the wheel and the pedals. And here's where it falls apart. With PCVR using the Thrustmaster wheel, a couple things are happening. One, you cannot operate via the menu with the wheel. They let you do that in Dirt Rally 2. They let you do that in all kinds of games, but here you have to have the controller to navigate the menu. And once you hit start, and you have, there's no time. 3 seconds, put down the controller, grab the wheel, get your foot on the pedal. Like, there's no time. And so it's a stressful situation. On top of that, within the menus, I don't know why. Again, let me know if you guys have had this experience, but for some reason, my wheel is making the menu kind of just down the list of options. It's constantly wanting to fall down, even though my telemetry says that everything is good, my settings are good, everything's calibrated, and I have no idea why that is. I don't know if it's the game or if it's my wheel, but it works fine in every other game. Additionally, the brake also doubles as reverse. There is no stick function in this as far as I can tell. So if you want to put it in reverse, you're not like shifting backwards or anything. You're just holding the brake for longer. And for me, it's immersion braking. I don't personally like it. When you collide with a wall, it's got a very go-karty, bouncy, it almost like rejects you. It kind of just tosses you to the side, which is a bummer because it feels unrealistic the way that you kind of collide with objects. All in all, I'm going to say that I need to play EXOCars more, but I'm initially quite unimpressed. If you like the game or if you want to try it out, there's a Discord channel, which I will link below, and they're hosting tournaments, they're having giveaways, they're offering, I think, a Quest 3, and it's a fun time. I'm not sure there is a better racing game on MetaQuest standalone. I'd immediately say that Deathlap is better. I love that game. The collisions, the gun firing, everything about it, in my opinion, is better than this. But the audience is gone. There's no one there to play with. So feels like these guys are genuinely bent on making the experience better. They're constantly updating this thing, and I'm excited to see what they do. Now, regarding the flight sim, I have played a few different things. All of this is PCVR, nature of the stick, I'm sorry. I started with Star Wars Squadrons. Star Wars Squadrons is amazing. Came out a few years ago, but it's a great time, works well with a flight stick. I moved to Project Wingman. It's got a lot of the same mechanics, and it's got a lot of dogfighting mechanics. I like it a lot. From there, I jumped into Elite Dangerous, which is wild. It's a 1-to-1 scale of the galaxy. It's huge, and I don't know how to play it. I spent 5 hours in that thing trying to figure it out. The controls are obvious. I get it. They don't give you any instructions. It's so big. It's such a big game, and if you want to play it like for real, then you have to have like several monitors. You have to go to like Discord channels and websites, and because they don't tell you anything about these different star systems. You have to do your own homework outside of the game and get data saying that this star system is great for mining this, and this is a good place to go if you want to make money and trade here. And if you don't do that, then you're just flying around and getting blown up by people and getting too close to a sun and burning up. I don't know. It's fun. It's huge, but I cannot play it because I don't have 3 years to spend getting good at a game like that. It's crazy. From there, I jumped into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, which was fantastic. I loved it. And then I jumped into 2024, which has some wild improvements. Obviously, now you can get out of the plane, you can explore, which is surprisingly a huge deal. The mapping data is also improved. My hometown in southern Utah, we've got some mountains that were always a little too short, and it looked a little kind of wonky at night. But now everything looks great. Flying through New York City in a fighter jet, whizzing between buildings, it's such a good time. Right now, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is the show stealer. It's an amazing game. It's huge. It's 1-to-1 with the Earth, and I can't stop playing it. So I probably won't make another video for another 2 weeks because I'm stuck in this game. Now, if you guys want this flight rig, sim rig, racing rig that I have, I'll link it down below. It's inexpensive, and if you've got a PC for gaming, it's pretty amazing. It comes with the seat. I'll leave links to the T16000 and the wheel that I'm using, though I expect I'll upgrade the wheel eventually. And on top of that, I'm using a haptic seat pad from Next Level, which works in a couple different ways. One, it communicates with racing games and it sends, telemetry data to the seat, and it bumps when you hit a bump and vibrates when the engine is revving, and it works fantastic for the 6 games that work with VR. But I've abandoned that. I'm just using audio to haptics with that thing. I went into Voicemeeter and I set up a whole output so that it takes virtual desktop and splices it with my 3.5 jack. And now for any game I play, anything at all on PCVR, the seat vibrates with the audio, which I would have thought would have been kind of a bummer, kind of boring, and it's not accurate. But all these games I'm playing, there's very little music to be had. If there's audio, it's because the engine is revving, or because I'm sliding across gravel, or because I'm landing and it's rubber on concrete. And so 99% of the time when it vibrates, it's vibrating to something that I need, and it feels fantastic. It's taken my gameplay from, hey, this is cool, I'm in the air, to, oh my god, I'm having a great time and this feels fantastic. Gone are the days where I've got a flight stick and a throttle attached to my desk, sitting in this chair and clumsily stepping on pedals that are mounted beneath my desk, whether I'm using them or not. Now I have this rig that's always there, always connected. I'm sorry, this thing started as, happy Thanksgiving and look at all these discounts, and it ended with PCVR, which likely isn't for most of the people watching, but it's what I'm doing, it's what I'm excited for. And I'm gonna link a bunch of games down below, strictly MetaQuest games that I love and that I expect you're going to be interested in. I'm going to link sites for the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S, special financing, and an outright purchase. And if that $60 Quest Cash is of any use to you, then I hope you use it. You'd be saving a few bucks and you'd be supporting my channel. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Check the links down below. Now, in this video, I posted some visual text. It's not audible. It's nothing I said. There was something hidden in this video. It's a code, and the person to tell me what that code is going to get Into the Radius 2 on Steam. Check out the comments down below. I'm going to pin a comment stating whether or not that code has been found yet. Much thanks to the developers over there, and thank you to you for being here. You guys have been watching Bringhurst VR. Godspeed.